Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that, and thank you to my subscribers and followers. Share it with your friends and family. If you come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes. It helps us grow, and muchly appreciate all your support from the bottom of my heart. We take great pride at this being the one Habs channel that does not focus on gossip or rumor land. Now, we occasionally, when something gets so darn big, will get roped into coming into it a bit, and it's usually to give you another angle on it because some people have taken things out of context so much. We don't like to go down that road, but it happens occasionally. We do everything to avoid going down that field. We like to report on factual information as it falls, and we take great pride in doing that. We're not going to get you here just under a bunch of BS. To 99% of the crap that's in the episode is garbage. It's just gossip. I don't believe in doing that, and I don't believe in using clickbait to get you here. So let's get to it. This is game three. We do reviews here. And yes, this was game three of the Canes came into Montreal. We knew Montreal would have a hard time. They don't play as well at home and don't have a great record. All right, so let's get to it. This was a rough one. I suspected it was going to go this way. Mind you, I was very proud in the final outcome. Not proud of the effort. I'll explain. Let's get you the stats, and then we'll talk about what I'm going to drive at here. So here's a breakdown of the periods of when the scoring was done. 2 goals to 1 in the first for Carolina. Montreal adds one in the second. Carolina doesn't. Third period, no scoring, so you got a 2-2 tie going into overtime. Carolina takes it with the goal in overtime, which Svechnikov scoring. I mean, their top goal scorer. What did you expect, that he's going to stay quiet forever? No, that's he's too good of a player. All right, let's break it down. Shane Gossifair scores at 8:24, assisted by Janowski. He's been quite impressive. He's been all over the board here and there for a nobody. Like, I mean, not a massive name, if you know what I mean. And Derek Robinson, they assisted on it. Mike Matheson tied it up with a beauty, 15-28. And that was Ivan Demidov and Jake Evans assisting on it. And Montreal, yeah, a little hard work, and they had it evened up. I almost thought it was a beautiful shot, but at the same token, when you see it replayed, not quite sure how Anderson didn't stop that, even though it was nicely placed. 16-22, Taylor Hall scores, assisted by Condre Miller um, and Jackson Blake. So that gives um, Carolina the 2-1 edge, 4:43. Lane Hudson gets a beauty power play goal. What a skate in. This guy, he starts the play. Dobish was in on it as well. Cole Caulfield got an assist in there as well. So assisted by Caulfield and Jakob Dobish. But Lane Hudson starting the play, and then he speeds up to the front of the net, knowing exactly where to go. Caulfield sees him to the left side of the net, and cross ice pass, boom, it's in the net. I love Lane Hudson. Here's my problems. Okay, no, we'll just continue here. And that was that. That was your second period. No scoring in the third. Then we got to overtime. 14:06 into it. Svechnikov scores, assisted by Seth Jarvis. That is your final. Let's get you the rest of the stats, the team stats, and then we'll get into the discussion points. All right, shots. Come on. Shots were 38-13. That can't keep happening. That's the reason for your loss right there, summed up in one thing. It's got to stop. Montreal cannot continue to carry themselves that way. Hits were 37-31 in favor of Carolina. Faceoffs 35-32, 52.2 to Montreal's 47.8 in that percentile. Power play opportunities 3-2 for Carolina. Power play goals 1 for Montreal. Power play percentile, Montreal 50%, nothing for Carolina. Shorthanded goals, none. Total penalties 4-3 for Montreal, 8 minutes to 6 minutes for Montreal. Block shots 33-18 for Montreal. So they were on point there. Takeaways 13-3 for Carolina. Giveaways 21-18, fairly close. So that is the end of your stats. Now here's my problem with. I'm going to mention a few things. Great goal by Lane. As I was saying, he skated up and used the speed to get open. However, in the Lane topic, we can't keep. They're taking it to him. They're bruising him every moment they get. We got to have a physical response, and I don't see it from us enough. I see a little bit from uh, and and Josh Anderson every now and then, but we don't have a response. They're deliberately, and of course he's definitely the engine in the offensive side of things for Montreal, and they know it, and they're really going at him. And we don't have anybody, and this is where I say our defense is not big enough. We got really good players back there on defense. There's still a size problem. When Caden Gooley really is your only physical response, and Caden last night took a few too many penalties. Took two in there. Don't like that. He's got to get better at not taking the penalties. He's done a great job physically. Um, there was just a couple weak points. I'm still not sold on Struble, his play in this series. I thought Dobson had some weak, some off. He had some good moments. He had some bad moments. He's played well in certain areas, but he's gotten beat too. Um, who else was there? Carrier, he's getting, he's doing good under the circumstances, but he's getting hit a lot too. But at least he dishes it back. Um, who else can we talk about? Matheson playing half. I think Matheson's been still the leader back there on the defensive side of things. Um, him and Gooley for sure. And again, I think Montreal's got size issues, and we're just too small. And we did not. Said before this game, we need to take the neutral zone from them. We did not. I mean, we're allowing them to walk right through the neutral zone. That's why we're getting beat. They and the shot department, we cannot keep bringing up any which way you see it. You cannot keep and expect to continue all the way through the playoffs with a 38-13 shots. That's just ridiculous. You're not going to get to the Stanley Cup final that way. It's not going to happen. And yes, they've relied on Jakub Dobish, and Jakub played fabulous. He's the reason they went to overtime again. You can't put this. I mean, that final goal, which Svechnikov opened in front of the net, that's on Slavkovsky. He doesn't have him tied up. And it's partially on Lane, because Lane had a breakdown too, and Lane probably should have been in front of the net. So it was kind of a combination. I put it in Lane. Lane's going to make mistakes. He's human. Now, he brings a lot to the game that, other guys aren't. But the two of them were the reason for this goal, the overtime goal. However, it was a matter of time. Dobish is only going to be able to keep you in its, you're eventually going to bust in there. And especially, I mean, how Slav didn't take his stick is beyond me. Slav, that's what I said. He's got to start using that damn frame. And Lane, he misses his projects periodically with plays he tries to make, and he gets burnt. So they both had a responsibility in that goal. And I felt so bad for Jakob. It's like the performance this kid put on, he doesn't deserve the outcome. His team is doing, I'm sorry to say it, you can't coast through these games with 9, 12, and 13 shots and think you're going to the Stanley Cup dance. Not going to happen. And I'm very proud of the team. Don't get me wrong. There's got to be a better response than that. Better. And now, like we've played 3 massively good teams in this. We've had the harder road to this position. No doubt about it. But now you're into an experienced, really well experienced club that plays a wicked structural system. They play really good positional hockey. And that's why we're now running into a wall. You have to get to the damn net. You got to clog up the neutral zone. You got to keep that transition. You got to use that transition game. We're not doing it far near enough. And I'll tell you, the moment it's bad enough we were behind, and originally I thought we were going to get pounded. So for us to go to overtime, quite proud, but I'm not proud of the shot. The effort department is where I have a problem. When you have that big of a differential in shots, that tells me there's not enough work being put in. That's just the way I see it. Sorry, this team is lacking things. We knew it, and it's size. Size is coming through. Size, you want that size to have talent too. We need that top six forward, and I'm glad they didn't have Kapanen in tonight. I think he's had enough of a taste of the playoffs. He's and there's no not Kapanen's going to be fine in the future. Make no mistake about it. He's just not used to this long of a season, and that will come. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's used to like playing 50 some odd games. He's past his quota. Next year on, now he knows what to be expected. But I thought it was great to have Valino in there, and I thought Valino played well. I still say I really did want to see Galley in this because Galley goes to the net, and anytime we go to the net, we score. And I'm telling you straight out now, the sad part of this is we could beat this team because we've got outstanding goaltending. We're just not mustering up the plays. Our We try to be too, and the officiating was garbage. This is one too many time that Dobish has been run. Don't give me the crap of just because somebody responded to the crash in the net. Give him a 2 minute. The other guy should have been thrown out the game. They're deliberately crashing it into goal. No effort to get out of the way. That's a deliberate attempt to injure the guy. They did it in the game before as well. And we've had it all the way through where Tampa's taken one opportunity at that. Buffalo took an opportunity at that. But Carolina's really doing it. And the officiating is garbage not to be doing something about it. There's no way that there shouldn't have been a 5 minute major and he got actually a misconduct and thrown out of the game. The officiating is, I'm sorry. Um, I just find there's a tilt in it, and they don't know how to make prop. It's like I say, they try to keep it somewhat close, but I find there's a slight lean in Carolina's favor, just the way I'm seeing it. However, they try to keep it somewhat close, but when something is blatantly obvious, you have to call that, and that you can't just make that a match setup penalty where it's 2 for 2. No, 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 no. That's a blatant attempt to injure, and that automatically should be a misconduct. Gone. See you later. You cannot do that trying to deliberately injure the goaltender. And I don't like our response, even though there was a little response in that situation from Jake Evans. That was the only response we got. It's not enough of a response. And that's when you see that we're too small and not a big enough team. Somebody should have taken that to task. And it has, through the playoffs, we should have taken that to task. The runs. You got to stop the runs. Or, again, you could match that. Why aren't we causing traffic in front of their goalies? Hey, maybe you run, since the referees don't want to call it, maybe you run their goaltender and even the scales. Sorry. It's only happened so many times now where it's overly happened and it hasn't been called by the officiating. There's a freaking major problem with the officiating when they will not call the running of a goaltender and call it seriously when it's an attempt to it. You're trying to injure the goaltender. Make no mistake about it. Thank God that kid's big and strong, but he's only going to handle so much. He's a human being. And we just don't have a physical response. We have to get a physical response, like a major physical. This is where I see the problem of Struble to Jackeye. Struble's doing wonderful in, they got more trust in him. That's evident. He hasn't impressed me. Um, Jackeye, you can see the trust factor is not there with the coaching staff. I've liked his playoffs, and I think they need his size. How you do go about that? They need a punch. Like when something like that happens, that's when you need a Jackeye on the ice, or to come in the next play and send a message. If you have to dress Jackeye as a forward, then damn well do it. I don't understand Montreal's thinking right now, and that I love Marty. No doubt. I even think Marty should be coach of the year. But there's certain little things, and I've never been sold on the relationship they have with Jack Eye. He's been the only. I know he makes some mistakes, but he really played well when he was in this playoff. He was playing very responsible, and if you want that kid to grow, you got to. You can't just give him 2 minutes. It's almost like you're working against him, and that's the type of frame you need on your team to be able to counter a big physical, well structured unit like Carolina, because we could beat this team. And there's no doubt if we would go to the net, Anderson is not that great of goaltender. He can be good at times. It's easy enough to beat him if we cause the traffic. We just don't put the effort in. It's like we're afraid. And Cole Caulfield's driving me damn well bananas. People can say, "Oh, he scored." Don't give me the crap. Everybody else is doing the work when he scores, and I love Cole. But what I've seen in him in this playoff, does. I sure hope he goes after this all and does some searching, because something has to change in his game. Because as talented he is, he's no Martin St. Louis. He's no Martin St. Louis. He's no Lane Hudson. And the only way Montreal can be successful using him is if he's going to put some heart into it. Sorry, you're a small guy. You're gonna, in order to win in the playoffs, you got to work, and you can. He's petrified of getting hit. You can see it all over the ice, and that's not going to work. That's not going to fly. And I'd be sitting him occasionally. I'm sorry. I want a response out of you, and if I don't get it, you're not going to hit the ice. Simple. Something's got to give there. And I love Cole for his, yeah, of course he's got a shot. What good is that shot if he's losing all the battles and won't go into the corners and is unwilling to take a hit? There's a hit there it wasn't really that heavy when he went down. That was onto him. And I kind of think he was going down just to get out of the way as well. I'm not impressed. And I'm not impressed with Slav. Slav, though, I'll give credit to, is had good moments. What I mean, he'll work when he does skate. He creates shit. When he goes to the net, he gets things done. If he could just damn well learn consistency, that will come. It's just, will it come in time enough in this series? I don't know about that. And if we're going to keep coming out with 9-12, I think the series is over now. I'm sorry. If I'm Montreal fans, expect this series to end Sunday night. There's Friday or Sunday. Sorry. Let me see. Um, yeah, because you'll have a game Wednesday. We're going to lose that one. And yeah, actually, you'll be gone by Friday. We'd be lucky to get to game 6. I don't see it. I mean, we are freaking me out in the sense it's Dobish who's keeping this close. It's Dobish. And we owe him. And we can beat this team if we chose to. It's going to be sad to have a Carolina Knights final. I can tell you, I won't be watching. I have no interest in it. I don't think that's the way. I think sad to say that Colorado got beat up in that Minnesota series. I think that's why they're on the way out. There's injuries. Um, I would, I mean, but this is what Gary Bettman wants. He doesn't want a Canadian team there. He doesn't want half decent. No. But anyway, Montreal has to go out and get that big top 6 forward. This is clearly showing it. And I don't know what we're going to do with some of our defense. I mean, I honestly, this is not gossip. This is my opinion. I believe over the summer, you will see Struble and Jack Eye traded because you got Reinbacker and Enstrom coming up. Enstrom's already proven offensively he's better than the two of them. And but I don't, it's the size and grit factor. Now I find he's just as gritty as Struble. So it makes him way better than Struble. He still won't be because of his size, as tough as Jack Eye. That's the sad part. But that's my prediction. Those two will get traded, and I hate to see Jack Eye go. I like Struble, but I think we have too many guys his size. Um, but with Jack Eye, I think you're making a mistake. If we unload him, I would keep that guy somehow in the picture if you got to keep him as a seventh defenseman. But Montreal's going to have to figure out something here because eventually you're going to need to get bigger. on that back end because we're just not punishing enough. We're too easy to get around. And my God, if we're going to let them skate through the neutral zone and into our end untouched, we deserve to lose. And I'll be honest, I've seen him both all series we've been in. We didn't deserve to move on if it hadn't have been for Jakub Dobish and some good bounces. We played well in this playoff, but we've shown a lot of backseat play where we're not mustering up enough effort, shots wise, and competing. You can't win hockey games that way, and I think we're finding out now that a team that's got physicality but with massive structure. Uh, Rob's got them playing. Brendan Moore's got them playing phenomenal. Well structured system, and we can't handle it because of the size of them. So you've got to make things happen. That takes a lot of heart. So passengers, there can't be passengers, and we got far too many passengers. The guys who I thought would be the passengers aren't the passengers. It's our two of our wingers, um, and like I said, at least Slav has done given some effort. Cole, physicality wise, or I mean, just effort. It's great to score. Like I said, goals don't mean you're putting in the effort when people are feeding you. So Cole has not earned my respect in this playoffs. He's been their biggest disappointment, in my opinion. And I love the guy, but that's got to change in his game. And we've got to get bigger. We've got to get much nastier. Uh, and we have to clog up that. We got to play a better, clog up system. We cannot let them. They're just walking right through the park, and they're too dangerous of a team to allow to do that. So sorry, I'm that type of guy where I am an honest Habs fan. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, yeah, oh we did play, we managed to stay in it, but that's all Jakub Dobish, and it's been Jakub Dobish through the whole damn playoff. We wouldn't be here without that kid. He's been phenomenal. I just feel bad for him because he's not getting a proper response from his team for how well he's played. Sad, but it's true. And I think I'm sorry, but with this matchup, it's come to an end. This is the team that's going to end our season. We've done exceptionally well to get to this point, so we can hold our heads up high. But if Hughes and Gorton cannot see, you need a top six forward. Big and nasty and tough. That's talented. And you don't want him too old. You want him, I would say, in the 28-year range, the oldest. Um, like a Matthew Nyes. My God, I wish, but that I can't see Toronto letting him go. But with that being said, that's the type of player we need, and we're gonna also have to. I can see it in the future. Maybe it's when Matheson's career is done that you get a bigger defenseman in his place. But in the time being, we're too small. We're just, and Matheson's been one of our better ones. He's made some bonehead plays, yes, but they're all the same size. Like Matheson, Gooley, Struble, they're all the same damn size, and they're just not big enough. When you have that many of them, they're all around the 6'2" mark. You kind of, I don't even know if they're 6'2". One of them might be. I'd have to go look at that, but it's not big enough. You need Everybody else has got these like Slavin was outstanding. We need a Slavin. We need a shutdown guy. So anyway, thank you for watching. It's been interesting, but I can tell you, for me, I will not be watching this um, Stanley Cup final if we're knocked off, because I don't like the setup, and I'm sure Gary Bettman is dancing in his little seat because he's probably going to get he's got the Americans that'll take another cup. The cup will go in the States. Anyway, sad to say that, but that seems to be, until Bettman goes, that's going to be an issue. And I know there's a lot of people that like Bettman. I'm sorry, I'm not on the bandwagon. All right, thank you for watching. Seen it here where the puck drops first at Center Ice Productions. Go Habs, go.